What's odd is that because the margin of the Republicans' majority in the House is so small, usually with these shutdowns, the conversation is all about, is this going to ultimately hurt Republicans writ large worse, or is it going to hurt Democrats writ large worse? But now one of the reasons so many Republicans on the House side are so mad is that you have 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 kind of bomb throwing Republicans in the House who are enough to derail basically any Republican project, who don't seem to have the same incentive structure as everybody else. The question is not what is kind of the most kind of spending cuts and concessions that we can extract out of our other negotiating partners in the Democratic Senate and from President Joe Biden. They're just really, really mad that Republicans have a majority, but they haven't gotten the things that they want yet. And they're willing to kind of take this stand and basically say, well, we don't care. We're just gonna blow the whole thing up. Like we're not gonna stand by here and let Kevin McCarthy walk all over us by passing a spending package that doesn't contain the kind of dramatic changes to spending and funding and the parliamentary process and all these things that we've long demanded. And you have a whole other, large majority of the Republicans in the House who are kind of tearing out their hair about all of this and saying, look, we put together a package that we think is a good starting point for negotiation, considering the fact that we control one house of Congress and that's it right now. And so you've seen this really interesting messaging divide where it's the kind of the bomb throwers, it's the Matt Gaetzes of the world, some of these guys in the House Freedom Caucus, where they're essentially saying, like, we're not going to stand for this stuff anymore. We're taking our ball and going home until we see some real changes around here. And then you see some other people messaging the package that McCarthy wants to see passed, using the same, or at least very similar, kind of like very, very grassroots conservative language. Like, look, here are the priorities that we got into this package. It does contain funding for the border. It does contain, funding for the military and all these sorts of things. And we have a couple of Republicans who are, killing it before strangling it in the cradle before it can even get to the Senate for negotiation with Chuck Schumer. And so they're kind of, it's completely intractable at this point. We're barreling toward a shutdown. We are not even yet to the point where Republicans are negotiating with Democrats about this, which is the other crazy thing. I mean, usually that's the shutdown, right? It's you have a Republican side and a Democratic side, but we are not even to that point yet with this thing less than 2 weeks away.